Hello, happy Monday, everyone. I hope that you are having a good beginning of your week. If this is the beginning of your week, it's a rainy Monday here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and it is good to have my old friends and colleagues on with me today. The one and only, the Reverend Deacon Dr. I was going to say Deacon Dr. Dr. Freddie Haynes of Friendship West Baptist Church in the beautiful South Dallas, sunny South Dallas. How you doing, Doc?
Hey, Sib, how you doing? So good to see you, and thank you so much. I heard the emphasis on old, so God bless you.
You are funny. You have the youngest heart and youngest spirit of anybody I know. So trust and believe. That was not a dig at you and your spirit. Hey, Dominique, my friend, how are you?
Hey, Sibby Sib, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you both
Good.
for joining us. Dr. Haynes is on location. And Doc, I want to thank you for giving us your time. You are in a part of town. You're going to be participating in a program tonight, any moment now, at Shingle City. What is that for people who don't know?
Well, sadly, it's reference to the fact that Dallas allowed a community known as Floral Gardens, which is predominantly black and brown,
Mm-hmm.
to be basically trashed through its zoning policies. And about several years ago now, this particular company that specialized in moving shingles from rooftops. They literally moved so many shingles to this area of town, right next door to one of my members, by the way, Marsha Jackson, and it became a 10-story mountain. A 10-story
Just
mountain of
imagine that.
shingles. Yeah, just
Yeah.
imagine that. Several tons. And again, it's located right next door to someone who started to have lung problems, breathing problems,
Mm-hmm.
because she was inhaling the toxins because of this environmental racism. And so we got involved and said that there's no way that we could allow this to happen. Fortunately, the mountain was, literally moved. But now, as soon as we turn our back, it's like they say, the struggle continues. They're trying to zone this for or use what was the location of Shingle Mountain. They now want to use it for a truck stop. And so, they're replacing a mountain of shingles with a trail of trucks. And so
Right.
what
And
does
all
that
the
mean?
exhaust and things that come
Exactly,
from
the
that.
exhaust. And so it's like, you want to call yourself a first class city, but you want to treat us like second class citizens. And
Right.
so we're not having that. And so we're standing with the citizens of this area who have already said they have a vision, Sybil, for this community. They want to build a park. They don't want pollution. They want a park. They don't want another Shingle Mountain. They don't want a trail of trucks. They want a park. And so we're
Right.
saying, let's give them a park. The children in this area, they deserve a
Deserve that.
park. They don't
Yeah.
deserve to be trashed with toxic waste as well as with truck fumes. And so we're out here to let them know they're not by themselves.
Yeah, and if there's anything we can do to keep that word and keep that going, please let me know. I've seen the stories, and Dominique, it is just incredible to see what was, as Doc said, a 10-story high,
Wow.
just of refuge and all of this leftover roofing material, and to see it leveled and cleared out, and you're thinking, okay, this is a good thing. And now,
Right.
as Doc said, now they want to make it into a truck parking space. And obviously, not only the exhaust and the fumes that come from that, but the lifestyle that you often think of that is associated with truck stops and things like that. So,
Right.
Right. Rats and everything else, mice and everything else.
Thank
That's
you.
just a
Thank you.
pacifier to me.
yeah,
Clear it out. Then you're gonna pacify me and just put the trucks in. No. Clear it all out. It's not,
Right.
you can't live like that. That's wrong.
yeah.
Right.
So, Doc, I know that you have a press conference going there, but I wanted to talk to you also about the story that folks in the Dallas Fort Worth saw on payday loan buildings and payday loan businesses, and the role that you have played, not just in talking about it for television, but you have taken it to another level. You went before Congress and spoke out against these payday loan companies that are financed by our major banks. They won't give us loans, Doc, but they will finance these payday loan companies that charge people like 400% on a $500 loan.
Oh, it's just absolutely sick. And so, and I thank you for even bringing that up, because we've been in this fight now probably for a good 10 or 11 years. Sadly, I got in it because I was on vacation. I came back to town, and right down the street from the church, what had been a nursery where you have plants and flowers, now it was a payday loan store. And I'm like, what's up with that? And so I did a little research, had a community meeting, and Sib in Dallas. And Dominique, check this out. I'm in a location in Dallas where you have Potter's House, Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship,
Right.
Concord,
Wow.
Antioch Fellowship. You're talking about you're talking about 5 or 6 mega
Major.
churches
Yeah.
within 3 miles of each other. And between us, we had 25 payday loan or car title loan stores. And so I was like, I called my colleagues and like, this is impacting your members. It's impacting our community. And just check. You can check and find out. And we did a survey, and members were coming forward who were asking us for benevolence because they had a payday loan, that the payday loan was like 500%. I saw one, Sybil, for 949% interest rate. One.
What
it was
is
absolutely
that?
949%. And so, of course, those loans turn over and over and over, and you find yourself in a spiral downward into deeper and deeper debt. And so we got in the fight and discovered, and check this out, there are more payday loan and car title loan stores in Texas than we have McDonald's, Burger King, and Dairy Queen combined.
Together.
That's how prolific these payday loan stores are. And so we decided to get in the fight, and we've done several things on the state level, testified on the national level, because now they've been losing a lot of battles. And let me say this parenthetically, this is going to trip you out. About 3 years ago, I went to Miami for a protest because they were holding their national payday convention at Mar-a-Lago.
Wow.
Yes.
Mar-a-Lago.
That sounds about right.
That's it.
That sounds about right.
See who they are in bed with. I want to make that real clear. Yeah. And so under Trump, they really, they had a field day. And so we've been able now to, do some things. We testified before the Senate Housing and Finance Committee a few weeks ago. I've also testified down in Austin, and in Dallas. We were able to rezone all of those areas where payday loan stores are, and we did them where there could only be so many in a location. And as a consequence, the payday loan industry has sued Dallas. They've sued every city that followed the model that we set up. So we've had some victories, but as you just pointed out, here's what they're doing now. They're hiding behind banks. And so major banks that won't give us loans, major banks. So we still are underbanked and underserved. And so what they're doing now is the payday loans basically say, okay, we'll have a bank to front the loan that is going to exploit people. So you have legalized loan sharking that's going on right now. And again, it's downright evil. And what's really sad, you have a lot of people who support this who end up going to church, and yet the Bible speaks against usury. And so I want to know what Bible you're reading, because this is usury, it's legalized loan sharking, it's pimping people, and you have the cover of the banking industry. And so we're calling out the Wells Fargos, we're calling out those banking institutions that are engaged in partnering with pimping our people in the name of loans. And so we just won't stand for that.
Doc, you're engaged in so many different things, and your passion is so great. Who do you go to for respite, for calm, and I know meditating helps and things like that, but we go to you for advice and guidance. Who do you go to?
And I appreciate that. I'm blessed with some really good friends. Our good friend Michael Eric Dyson, whenever
Hmm.
he can
Yes.
tell that I am tripping, he will call me in advance and say, "Okay, what's up? Let's talk." And he'll talk me off the edge. And so I really appreciate that. So having good friends like that
Hmm.
really makes a difference. And then my mother, she's real
God
slick
bless
with
her.
hers. What she will do is she'll just say, son, she'll call me out of nowhere, son, I'm praying for you, and then hang up. And so that lets me know I need to calm down.
She make you take a look at the man in the mirror,
Oh
huh?
yeah, oh
You
yeah,
like,
oh
okay, I
yeah.
must be tripping. Mama that just called.
Mama
Just
said,
Right.
son, I'm praying
yes, I'm
for you.
praying for you. What's
Click.
going on? Let
Click.
me check myself.
Yeah, that's
That
right.
is great. That is great because I think about you, especially on Sundays when I watch your sermons and the guidance and the word of inspiration that you give us is so vitally important. And then you go around the country as well and providing this. And as people can see online, following Friendship West as well, and you. But I thought about yesterday, and I believe that the title of the sermon was "If you don't know, now you know. If you didn't know, now
If
you
you don't
know."
know, now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah,
Biggie.
and yeah, exactly, exactly. So tell people what brought that to mind and how that came to you.
Well, I mean, basically, the thrust of the sermon had to do with the fact we have so much that we are up against. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
last week, and it can discourage you. I
Hmm.
read this piece by Ibram X. Kendi, and he was talking about how every time we hear about Ronald Green in
Hmm.
Louisiana and the big lie that his family had to live with for 2 years, it's bad
And
enough to
fight,
lose your son, but then
right?
to find out that he got murdered by these treacherous, vicious police officers. And Kendi says every time we hear that, it's a trigger, it's a
Hmm.
traumatic trigger for
It
Black
is.
people. And so,
Right.
so given that, I said we hear this so much.
Yeah.
It can be discouraging and
Mm-hmm.
depressing. And so the sermon yesterday was basically about lifting us up out of that and giving us resources, emotional and mental resources for dealing with the constant barrage of BS, because we live in the United States of America, and BS, just in case y'all don't know, it simply means bad stuff. So we deal with so much bad stuff in this country, and that bad
It
stuff,
is.
it can start to mess with your spirit.
Yeah.
And this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so my
Yeah.
thing is, if anybody needs to have their mental health restored, healed, given hope, it's our people. So that was basically the thrust yesterday. And my whole thing was, yeah, we got to deal with Ronald Green. Yeah, we
Mhm.
got to deal with the Louisiana police and what they did, which was downright dirty. And
Right.
and this is the week, sadly, where
Yeah.
we are commemorating what a year ago what
Yeah.
happened to George Floyd.
Right.
And then what? At the beginning of next week, we move into the 100-year commemoration of what happened 100 years ago
In
with
Tulsa.
Black Wall Street. So it's like
Yeah.
there's always something hitting us. And
Yeah.
so we have to have the wherewithal, the spiritual wherewithal to fight back at all of this hell. And what Biggie does in that song, which is so
Hmm.
powerful, he talks about how bad stuff was growing up, but
Yeah.
now he's balling and shot calling. And his testimony is, if you don't know, now you know.
You know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about so
That's
many
all.
things, and it was so awesome the way you, of course, the way you always do, but pulling everything together and talking about these things and how, just it's like scattershot. As you mentioned about George Floyd, or last week we're talking about Ronald Green and George Floyd, and then Black Wall Street coming up this weekend into next week, and then on the other side of academia, we're talking about one of the
Oh
most
my God.
incredible minds in our lifetime,
Yeah.
and talking about Nicole Hannah Jones, the woman who gave us 1619, and all of her work with the New York Times, and laying out what has happened over the last 400 years, and then to find out that in one of the most esteemed academic institutions in the country, University of North Carolina,
Right.
denying her tenure, and because the board doesn't like the way she teaches. They don't like the whole critical race theory, and all of these things that she's bringing about, and perhaps making them feel guilt about Dom, and the way that they should. But they're turning it around and giving her a 5-year agreement to teach a professorship, but not to give her tenure, Doc.
That's
No, they're not.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dominique. I'm sorry.
It's just crazy, because the problem is white people have profiled every ethnic group in this country. We are all profiled except for them. Mm-hmm. So now it's time for them to look at themselves. They're going to do anything in their power not to look at themselves, because it's going to be ugly. Mm-hmm. It's just no way around it. When they start dealing with who they are and the atrocities and the things that they have done, it's not good. But I also think you can right your wrongs too. You know what I mean? You can right a wrong. You can change that and say, that's okay, we were that and that's how we existed. But now let's start right here. And how do we turn the tables on this situation? And how do we change this? Yeah. They don't want to do that.
They don't want to look back.
They don't want to look back. They don't even want to look at what's going on now. Right. They don't want to look back. They don't want to look at now. They don't want to do any of that.
Yeah.
So until they're able to come and to have a come to Jesus meeting and decide that they're going to do that, we're going to keep kicking the can down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as you're in denial, saying all this stuff not happening, it's a figment of your imagination. And we like things the way they are. Just the fact that they wouldn't give her tenure because of her book that's being released in November. We like it the way we are. We don't appreciate you speaking about it and stop bringing it up. They want to rewrite history. You can't rewrite history.
No. Well, they try. They have tried.
They try. They continue to try. You just can't do that.
Doc, I don't know if you can hear me, but I see you getting ready to go on stage. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you.
I appreciate you, and thank you for being our Ida B. Wells. Don, keep on doing the great work that you're doing. And we're going to get this country out of this most populous state, which is the state of denial.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. God bless you, Doc. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks again for popping in. I appreciate it. So appreciate it. He is a busy man. And he's about to speak before a press conference regarding the shingle city in the Dallas area. And so we'll keep you up to date on that. Dom, this whole thing with Nicole Hannah-Jones is you're absolutely right. They do want to keep kicking the can down the road and not want to look back. I mean, that is from the book of Mitch McConnell. He doesn't want to talk about the original sin. He says, okay, we do have original sin, but he doesn't want to talk about how we got here and how we just forget about this and keep moving. Well, no, because that's not progress. That's not making it about progress. That's about just ignoring what has happened. And as you said, rewriting history.
Yeah, you can't, because we can't move forward if there's no acknowledgement, and we keep talking about the same things repeatedly. And we're in this constant fight. Dr. Haynes said something when he said, every time, look, Ronald Green, every other week, it's another lie. And in New Orleans, they got down and dirty. It was the politicians in on it and everything to cover this up.
Yeah.
Until somebody leak. I mean, when does it stop?
We have people who are commenting, and Janice Eastman on Facebook says, what makes it even more egregious, love that word, is that UNC Chapel Hill is Nicole Hannah-Jones' alma mater. They trained her. They gave her a lot of her foundation. And the trustees are questioning the veracity of her scholarship and her report. And it is absolutely ridiculous. You're absolutely right, Janice, there on Facebook. How do you say, okay, we are the people that you went to for education. We gave you the best education you could possibly get.
And then tell me it's not good enough.
Exactly.
And tell me it's not good enough.
How
You
crazy is
stand
that?
on this. You stand on your education.
Right.
Charge a lot of money for it, and then you tell me that you know, it's not good enough. Your techniques are not good enough.
That's
you know,
bananas.
this constant trying to punish groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, it really is, Dom.
And when does it stop? You know what I mean?
But we have to keep pointing these things out, and hopefully, you know, just like for George Floyd, you know, said that the video that a lot of people were just absolutely millions of people were stunned by 1 year ago tomorrow. They were just incredulous that anything like this could happen. But we have to keep talking about it and putting the word out that these things are happening. Oh, there you go again. But I believe that, you know, we inform and empower people with this information in order to bring about a change. And if we don't talk about the Nicole Hannah Joneses in the world, if we don't talk about the Ronald Greens or the George Floyds or the Breonna Taylors or in the case of our newsletter talking about Diamonds Ford, we don't talk about these people, then how else will we have an opportunity to make change?
I think we do need to keep talking about these people, but I also think we have to start having some meetings offline and trying to figure out, you know, what can we do in-house?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What steps can we take in-house to bring about some kind of change for ourselves? What can we do? Because obviously they not hearing us the way we need to be heard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when you dealing with people, and in my opinion, that's in the gutter, sometimes you got to say, okay, well, this is how we got to deal with this, because they only understand finance and they only understand blood. I mean, the Asians got beat up for 2 weeks and got a bill signed.
Okay.
We've been taking it since we've been here. Joe Biden ain't signed nothing for us. So what do we have to do?
Come on, Dom.
In-house. We gotta do some. We gotta have some meetings offline. We gotta stop talking on social media. We gotta have some of them old school. Y'all come over here and sit around this table with drink some tea and figure out how we're gonna attack this thing to save ourselves. Because we're doing it. I think we're doing a great job. I think everybody, all the activism, even with Pastor Haynes, is so many people working in activism. I mean, tirelessly working and working and working. And then Ronald Green tape come out. You know what I'm saying?
2 years, Dominique.
2 years. 2 years. Drag that man on the ground. Then in his aorta, your main artery. Your main heart artery, they tore it. You tore it? You tased him as soon as you opened the door?
You tore it through a car accident.
Through a car accident.
Come on.
And then this video come out. You know, it's just like, I think that we do have to do some things in-house. You know, and I think we can start economically. See, we got to get to that place, in my opinion. We got to figure out.
We used to do that. We
all
used
the
to
time.
do that. We used to use whatever our monetary power was to affect that change. Whether it was the Montgomery bus boycott, or if we would, and I'm good. I believe in cancel culture. I know that if you aren't doing right, I won't use your toothpaste anymore. If you are making us look like something from the past and making fun of us, I won't use your product.
Absolutely.
And now I'm trying to figure out how to change my banking system because of the way that you have given the payday loans and the car title companies all of this money and not giving it to our people.
And it's like, what you're saying, I do what you do too, see it. But how do we get the masses to think like that?
Right.
It's always going to be something that's like, nah. But how do we get the masses to think like that?
It may not mean a lot when Dominique or Sybil do this. And yes, I'm using my name in the third person. But if we get the Janices that have, you know, if we get the Huggies and the Chris's and
everybody.
And exactly.
You know, if we just
let our money do the talking.
I'm trying to tell you, this is a money game. We got to let our money do the talking. Even if we say one Christmas, just at Christmas time, just this Christmas, we ain't buying nothing but dinner.
Okay.
We gonna buy our normal food and we will fellowship with our loved ones in that way, and we gonna have a good time. We gonna listen to music. We gonna have some drinks. If you smoke, we gonna smoke, but we ain't exchanging no gifts. We not doing. We gonna keep. Only thing we gonna eat because we need to eat. We're going to keep our money. We're going to only buy food, and we're going to buy it from a black grocery store if we can find one.
Yeah.
And if you do, you will see a difference right there.
Yeah. We have stories all the time about Black businesses and how can we support them, and telling people here's a business you may not have considered. So, let's look at this. Let's just take a more critical eye. And now, Dominique, we're 7 months out from Christmas tomorrow.
We're 7 months out from Christmas. We got to hold our dollars. We got enough tennis shoes. We don't need another pair of shoes. When we was growing up, Sid, we had 2 pairs, the play pair and the good pair.
Yeah.
Now everybody got 17 pair of shoes. Right. All of them look fresh. We don't need nothing.
Yeah.
And the pandemic, in my opinion, showed us that we don't need anything.
We've learned.
We've learned.
Yeah.
And it showed us that. And if we can just control our economic power to see how that works for us, stop sucking. Because if you think about it, Sib, okay, we want change. This is how I look at it. We want change. But if you want me to give you change, why would I give you change and you keep pumping $1 trillion a year into my economy? Right. Change what? You look happy to me. I'm around here, you dying in the street. The police doing whatever they want to do to you. Anybody else can do anything they want to do to you, and it's okay. And the government, they doing things, but they not doing as much as we think they should do. Mm-hmm. But we still pumping $1 trillion a year, and that don't seem like you hurt. Mm-mm. That don't seem like you sad.
You're okay. You're okay.
You're
it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. They still shop. They still lining up for George. They still buying the cell phone every time a new one comes. This is what they about dollars and cents.
Yeah.
Stop. Use your cell phone when the 13 come out. Don't get your phone until the 22 come out. See what happens. Bet they won't be $1,000 no more.
Okay.
And see, won't they pay attention? When them new Jordans come out, let them sit there and see what happens. Mm-hmm. Let them sit there.
I think that I forget who's the latest female athlete. Was it Gabrielle or who changed companies from Nike to Athleta because of the way that women are represented, and they want their money. That women are buying the product, so they want their money to go where women are presented in a fair and equitable manner. As opposed to, Nike, which kind of just, women are second or third thoughts along the way.
Absolutely.
And we have too many fit women in our community. We may not all look fit, but we are fit, and looking at them and they're willing to spend their money. But let's go someplace where we feel good about ourselves. They help us feel good about ourselves, and the way that they present themselves, present us to our children and the children to come.
Yeah, so we gotta have some in-house meetings.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yes, Simone
Biles. Absolutely.
Thank you for that. Absolutely. That was Simone. So thanks for that. And we are kind of moving behind schedule a little bit, but I do want to go with the trending video of the day, Dom. And this, and once again, this infuriates the hell out of me too.
I'm sure.
But this is a situation that we're seeing the other side of police stopping white people and what happened. So let's take a look at this.
I'm waiting for your boss to call me. Fuck off and get in your car. You're a fucking little bitch. Give me my ticket and go fuck yourself, goofball fucking fuck you. Fuck off, you bitch. You're a fucking clown.
He like pushed him. So he just hit me. So in 5 fucking
He's got his gun on me now. The RCMP officer has his gun on me now. Listen to him. He's fucking hitting. He's hitting my fucking truck now. He's breaking my window. Holy fuck! Get him over here. Get him over here. Holy fuck! Help me! Help me! I won't.
Send somebody now, please. He's got a gun on my husband.
He's tripping balls.
Send someone now.
Help me! Help me! Help me! Holy fuck! Help me!
Sakes, what are you doing? Fuck! He didn't do anything. Fuck!
I called for fucking help.
Send more people, please.
I'm sorry.
send more people and all
Please.
this. And
What
I
are you
mean, didn't he
doing?
drive down the street?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because you
Yeah.
know, I would have
He
thought he
hit
was gonna
the
open
cop.
fire on him when he was driving down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drove all the way down the street. Now he hollering help. That's that white grieving stuff, Sib. I can't. Now he's so hurt. They not gonna do nothing to you, because if he was, he would have snatched you out the car, threw you on the ground, put his knee on your neck, and never told you why.
Exactly.
You know, I don't understand why the police feel like when they pull you over, they don't owe you an explanation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you ask them, well, what you pulled me over for? They don't want to tell you.
Right.
Why don't
Right.
you want somebody to, you want me to get out the car and you don't even give me the decency of telling me why? What I get pulled up for?
And I got to tell you my name and give you my
ID and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
law enforcement has to hold themselves accountable.
Yeah. And
What happened to Officer Friendly?
I'm sorry, I keep hitting my mic. We have to hold them accountable.
We do.
We have to hold them accountable. And so that brings me now to our newsletter, the What You Need to Know newsletter. For people who don't know, please take a look at our newsletter. It is absolutely free. The subscription is absolutely free. And Monday through Friday, we have your newsletter in your email box first thing each morning. And SybilWilkes.com. And it makes for a great graduation gift. I'm just saying, as well as Father's Day coming up. So, Dom, today we talk about the work that continues on trying to get this George Floyd Justice and Policing Act to get it across the finish line. Tomorrow is May 25th, the 1-year anniversary. And I say anniversary because I don't like the use of that word, because that usually involves some sort of celebration or something, or people think of the observation of the murder of George Floyd. And that is the day that President Biden said that he wanted this bill signed on his desk and signed by May 25th. It's not happening. It has been passed in the House, and now they are going through negotiations. The leaders, including Karen Bass, the Congresswoman from California, Cory Booker, the Senator from North Carolina, and Tim Scott, the Republican Senator from, did I say New Jersey? I meant New Jersey for Cory, and South Carolina for Tim Scott. So they are still working on this, and they can't quite get the words, all of the things that the Democrats want, and put some things in that the Republicans think will satisfy or soothe our savage souls. So, in a letter sent Friday to the top Democrats, 10 House Democrats said they are concerned about the prospect of negotiators removing the qualified immunity language in order to strike a bipartisan deal. That qualified immunity is what saves policemen from further impugning their character and perhaps preventing them from being hired in the future because they are given immunity in these cases. And so they said, absolutely, this must be in the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. And they are very, they're holding back because they are fearful that the negotiators won't keep this in the bill. But Cory Booker, the senator from New Jersey, former mayor there in Newark, has said, I am a Black man, and I'm not doing this all in public, but I'm telling you, there's certain things in this bill, and led us to believe the qualified immunity is going to be one of those things that is it's non-negotiable.
It's not a bill without it.
Right.
What is what else is it? What else is in it? Without the qualified immunity, it's nothing. That's the way it sounds.
Yeah. Well, you know, they say, well, we want to ban chokeholds. Well, they're already doing that in many of the police departments. But okay, so we're going to make it a national law. But we're going to have cameras and make sure the body cams are on and they're working. Okay, well,
we see how that's going. They held the body cam in North Carolina and said, we ain't showing you nothing. And then when they showed it to you, you had to be on the scene to see what happened. You sure couldn't see it in that in the body cam video.
That's right.
So what are you talking about? Yeah. You hold the body, you doctor it. Yeah. You know, the body cam video shouldn't even go back to them. And it should go to a separate agency somewhere. As soon as it happens, this body cam is coming right to us, and we're gonna figure it out. Why would it go back to your superior?
An independent investigation.
Right. Yes, you need an independent investigation.
And the DA who saw the body camera footage said, no, these men they're not liable for any charges against them.
That's why the whole thing got to crumble, see it. everybody, they all work together. You know, the DA and the police, they're co-workers.
Yep.
Nobody ever said it, but they're co-workers.
Yeah.
That's the
Absolutely.
district attorney. They are, when you go up against them, they are for the police. Those are their co-workers.
Yeah.
That is their job. You're never going to get the kind of justice you deserve as long as the DA and the police, that's their job. They're co-workers.
Think about this in the Ahmaud Arbery case. Remember, they were talking about the DA and whether they would get justice because one of the men charged in the murder of Ahmaud Arbery is a former police detective in their department, working as a policeman, and that whole citizen's arrest kind of deal. The DA, I think they're on their third prosecutor now in this case. And so it's that old boy and in some cases old girl network that just rules and reigns supreme, and it has to stop. And
it has to stop.
Yeah.
The prosecutor in the Derek Chauvin case, that was the first time I actually saw a prosecutor even really prosecute the case.
Yeah.
You look at these other cases, even though Trayvon Martin did not, the police didn't kill him, George Zimmerman did. But in his case, the prosecutor in Florida never honed in on the fact that the police told George Zimmerman to take his ass home.
Right.
They never said that.
Right.
He never, ever, ever talked about that. I was like, why is he not talking about? Because he's not prosecuting this case.
He's not.
He's just not going to prosecute this case the way he should prosecute. And George Zimmerman wasn't even a police officer.
Right.
So when you're dealing with the police officers, what do you think you're going to get?
He's like, who was that on the Andy Griffith show? Citizens Arrest. Citizens Arrest. That was, he's on a little community policing force and not taking responsibility. And he's still out there.
Still out there.
He's
still out there. And I hope he's miserable too. Yeah. Like, so I know that stuff is mean to say, you know what I'm saying? But when I talk to my father's like the realest dude out, right? So I'm riding up the road going, sometime I'll fly into a city and then just ride to the actual city I'm performing. I'm riding up the road and my father always say some stuff. You be like, well, damn, I was trying to have a better heart than that. You know what I'm saying? You're like, I'm trying to be a little in the middle of the road. So we were riding, and at this time, that's when they said Donald Trump had COVID, right? So I said, Dad, you heard they said Donald Trump had COVID? He said, yeah, and I hope his ass die from it. I said, oh, hell no. I said, Dad, so... You know what I mean?
But Dom, your daddy just said what a lot of people.
Well, see, if you try to keep your karma straight, and you try to take the high road. My father's like, no, the hell with all that. Don't give him no medicine. Let him see what it do to him. That's what my father. No, don't give him no
that bleach you've been talking about.
Some of that bleach. When I talked to my brother, me and my brother, we laughed so hard because I like this man. He'll do that.
Yeah.
He'll do that.
Yeah.
Like my father say, why? He says wild stuff. I'm like, that's crazy, Dad. But I hear you.
And that's why I love barbershops, Dominique. Because I think that's where you get a lot of that real conversation.
That real conversation.
That your daddy shares. Exactly.
And you got to be able to handle it, because they'll say in a minute, they'll say something about us. You be like, whoa, did y'all see me sit in? And then after that, they be like, excuse me, sweetheart. But like I was saying, you gotta have tough skin in that barbershop because they're gonna talk that talk. So you better be ready.
Absolutely. One other story I wanted to talk about, and this is another promise. Well, the promise that Joe Biden made in regards to getting this policing act done and made into law. But another promise that he made was the appointment of a Black woman to the United States Supreme Court when an opening presents itself. And so there's the talk, well, who is out there that you can, you just can't get someone and appoint her. They like you to go through the steps, go through the different levels of judicial appointments. And so the nomination of U.S. District Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson is moving closer to the District of Columbia Circuit Court of Appeals. And this is a pretty highbrow and influential place of appointment. The last person who was in that seat that she is being nominated to fill is our current Attorney General, Merrick Garland, who was also nominated to the Supreme Court. We know how that did not go so well during the Obama administration. But Ketanji Brown Jackson is a woman who we talk about in today's newsletter, and how that she is going to, she has gone through the Senate Judiciary Committee and gone through, they passed her nomination by a vote of 13-9, and now it goes to the Senate. And of course, and which is noteworthy, 2 Republican senators did vote in favor of her nomination going forward. And so that is great news, but there are still far too many Black women who are in the pool, if you will, who would be considered for the Supreme Court justice position. So we wish her well.
I do too. See, they say when one opens up, it's like one's supposed to open up soon or something.
Well, they're thinking that oh God, now I can't remember who it was, but he's one of the more liberal judges. Starts with an S, and I just don't.
Sotomayor?
No, it's a man.
It's a man. Oh, okay.
It's a man. But they're thinking that he may be one who will retire in the next year or two, and they're hoping that
he's a Republican.
He's a liberal.
Oh, he's a liberal. Okay.
Yeah, and more liberal than others. But I know Ketanji Brown Jackson, she clerked for him, and now I can't remember his name. But anyway, that he may be one of those. But the hope is that, like a Clarence Thomas will leave and open up, and which would give us a closer balance in the Supreme Court, because right now it's 6 conservatives to 3 liberals. And so with the challenge to Roe versus Wade coming up in the next session and other things like this, they're hoping to get more balance, because 6-3, it's not going to bode well for women and their rights to their bodies in this Mississippi case that has been challenged.
You think Clarence Thomas will really leave?
No.
I didn't think so either.
No. I was thinking, I said S. It's Stephen Breyer. Thanks,
Stephen Breyer.
Okay. And is a man that Judge Brown Jackson did clerk for. So thank you, Yolanda. And so keep an eye out on her, as well as another judge. And this is the woman in the Black female judge is the California Supreme Court Justice Leandra Kruger. Look out for her as well. Those are 2 names that are being mentioned as we perhaps get closer to the nomination of a Black female to be in the Supreme Court, which is one of the really disappointments for me, if I can say this. And I know that what people will say in response, well, he can't just, nominate all the Black people the way that our current president is doing. But one of the great disappointments for me was that Barack Obama did not nominate a Black woman to the United States Supreme Court. And, say, well, you can't, as the first Black president, you can't do this and you can't do that. But I think when you're surrounded by strong Black women in your household, and especially one with as great of a legal mind as your wife has, that you would feel as though you would be doing a service to the country by nominating a woman like your wife to be on the Supreme Court.
And I think you need to be able to do whatever you want to do. Everybody else does whatever they want to do. Yeah. And then when it comes, he a Black president, he got to walk on eggshells. It's just nuts. I don't even like the way the Supreme Court is set up, because I don't think anybody should have a job forever.
Right.
I'm like, when you go, everybody else retired, why are you not going home?
And that's a consideration. That's one of the things that they are talking about, not just packing the court, as they have talked about adding more to the 9, but another consideration is at a retirement age for them.
I mean, they need to go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just sit there until I just fall out of my robe in my chair.
And unfortunately, that's what happened to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. How many fights against cancer did she have before she finally, her poor little body just gave out?
It
and
did.
she was trying to hold on, to get to the next presidency, and
She
unfortunately,
was, but they just the lifetime appointment is
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
yeah,
Everybody retires.
yeah,
You
yeah.
got to go. They need to start getting the cakes. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to go. We're gonna celebrate you down the hall. Take your ass home. That's all I'm saying. Got a lifetime appointment. It's nuts. This thing has to change. I'm telling you, it has to crumble, see, because it doesn't even make sense. I get a job forever.
Right.
I'm just
Really?
like,
And
it's forever.
I can just write decisions and change the rules and change the laws. Really?
Right. Forever. I mean,
Wow.
sometimes I would see RBG and be like, come on, dude, she's not even sitting up in the chair. Like, how well is her decision making? Like,
Yeah. And
like,
she still had a great mind, but from the outside looking in,
it wasn't good.
she's fallen asleep at the State of the Union addresses and things. Although I think it was during Trump's State of the Union that she fell asleep.
But she fell asleep. She had heard too many. She shouldn't have been there.
Right.
She should have had the option to change her channel.
Right.
That's what you gonna fall asleep. They all sit there like this. Hold up, been doing the job too long. That needs to change.
That's true.
Nuts.
That's true. So, Dom, in entertainment, am I the only person that watched last night's or adult that watched last night's finale of American Idol?
Yes, if you might. Sib, I think you might. You might be.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because I flipped between that and the Billboard Awards, but I'll tell you why I watched. Because there's a young man who was in the finals, and his name is Willie Spence. He became the runner-up, and they thought that he had a really good chance. That's Willie on your left, and that of course is Ruben Studdard on your right. They really thought that he was going to be the first Black male to win American Idol since Ruben. And unfortunately, it did not happen. He won. He came in second to a young man by the name of Chance. And Willie Spencer, he's a really sweet guy, but an incredible voice. And he's from Georgia. And they showed him, they show him as a mama's boy and going home. You know how they send him home to see their families and stuff. And they have like Willie Spence Day in his town and things like that. And so it was really sweet. But and we can't play his music because of YouTube laws and stuff. But I just wanted to give him a shout out and to his family there in Georgia. And one of the interesting things about this kid is that until this was a poultry inspector.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, this is a good chicken. This is a bad turkey. I don't know how that works for you, but I don't think
the temperature, he takes the temperature.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I don't think he'll be, I think they can consider last night his notice that he won't be returning once this is all over. But just a really sweet kid. And I had hoped that he would win, but of course, not to happen again. Once again, in America.
Who won?
This kid named Chance, and he had a really great voice, and he also had the story that comes along, and the challenges that he's had, and finally he said he was able to perform without being drunk, and so he had some alcohol things, some things with his family, and what have you as well. But I text my friend Stephanie Williams every once in a while. I say, "Are you watching?" And she watches The Voice, and I try to keep up with that too. But I'm like the only Black woman I think that's watching American Idol.
I hate to say when I watched it, because the last time I watched it, I'm ashamed to say it, but Fantasia won. Yeah.
Okay, so
that's the last time I watched.
15, 16 years ago for Fantasia, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but I also watch it because I want to see Lionel Richie every week, and I don't think that he gets the respect, especially from Katy Perry, that he deserves as the seasoned and very talented man that he is, and an artist. So we did also, I don't know if people saw this last night, but Michelle Obama gave an award to Alicia Keys last night, and we can't play that because of during the award ceremony, a lot of Alicia Keys music was playing. But she talked about, because this is the 20th anniversary, Dom, of Alicia Keys' first album and talked about the first
Wow.
time she heard Fallen and what that meant to her. And it was, and they have a great friendship, but it was really great to hear her recount the first time she heard it, what it did to her, and how Alicia Keys' music has been the soundtrack for many things in her life. And so it was really cool. And Drake, of course, as Stephen Hill told us last week, Drake was going to be honored as the entertainer of the decade of the 2000 teens. And he did accept his award with his little boy crying on stage.
Because he didn't believe it. No, I'm just playing. He didn't believe it. He said, y'all for real? Oh, okay. I'm just teasing. I know Drake is a great artist.
Funny. Very funny.
Yeah, the son, the baby even said, they not telling the truth, Daddy. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing.
That's funny, Dom. That's absolutely funny. And the last thing I wanted to
decade?
Of the decade, yeah, of the 2000 teens.
What's the two? What is that?
So from 2010 or 11 to 2000
now,
till 2019 or 20. So the next artist of the decade will be from 2021 now until 2030.
And that's just across all genres.
Yeah, with the amount of music and the
collaborations and
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
but I can see that. I was just teasing with Drake. I could see that.
I'm not mad at him. I'm absolutely
no. I can see that because he has worked and he's a good artist. I like Drake.
People are talking about who is in the funny chair today, and of course that is our friend Dominique. But she is here as Huggy and Chris are on holiday.
On holiday.
They're on holiday, Dom, with our former boss.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, where did they go?
They went south of the border.
Oh, okay. I was okay, I can deal with that. But if it had been any further, I was going to call tomorrow and say what happened. What happened with us?
Okay. And to be fair, we have been lucky enough to be a part of some pretty terrific times with Tom.
Absolutely.
And not the least of which was when can we tell this story? When Tom rented a yacht and we went to Greece.
Yeah, we did. I don't know if we're supposed to tell it, but I'm gonna stand with you, see if it's true.
That was a pretty phenomenal vacation.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had a ball.
And it had a ball, absolutely. So good on them, and hopefully they will have a good time and want to return. Next Monday, I'm not sure what our schedule is like. Monday is a holiday.
It is.
I was looking at the producer. She's choosing not to look at me because she doesn't have a problem with people working on a holiday.
Yeah, y'all might just want to take off. See.
No, Dom.
No. Okay, I come on, but I'm gonna be eating my hot dog because it's cookout. Time to cook out. Want people working cookout with hot dog.
Okay.
Burger.
Hey, Dom, where are you headed next?
Okay, so I'm headed next. I'm going to Las Vegas, and I'm going to do one nighter in Las Vegas. Actually, it's a Tuesday night. It's called Martinis, I believe, and then from there, I'll be headed to I'll be at the Punchline in Philadelphia.
Okay.
The last weekend in July.
Okay.
The 29th, the 30th, and the 31st.
And when is Martinis? When is that Tuesday night in Martinis?
Tuesday night in Las Vegas. That's the first. Is that the first? I think that's the first.
Okay.
June the 1st. And then I'll be in Houston. And I don't even, this is some poor promo right here.
No.
I don't know that.
I'll get your information and we'll
I'll get it because I don't even know the name of his club like that. But yeah, wherever I am, y'all just come on out and come to the show and all that good stuff.
I gotta tell you, I went to see Lunel Saturday night.
Yes.
And she is back, and she, after 2 knee replacements.
That's a new knee. She ready now.
Man, she tore it up. They had to add a 3rd show Saturday night. I was there for the 10, and they added another show after that.
That was good. That's good.
Yeah. So it was great, and it was there was Sherry Shepherd, and so it was a great night. So.
Sherry was there, huh?
Sherry came into town the night after her Two Funny Mamas show that went very well as it was streaming on their channel Friday night. Very funny. She and Kim were together and doing
I know that was
thing.
funny. Okay.
Yeah. And I know you had been working with them just earlier in the week.
Early in the week, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I got to call Kim too and say, okay, so what's no. Kim, what's
You know how that conversation goes.
Yeah, so Kim, I mean, what's you know?
So where are we at with this?
Yeah, what's going on? Should I expect a call? I mean, what is it?
So, Dom, before we leave, it's time for us to give a jewel from Yogi. A Yogi's jewel is a daily inspiration. And so today is, you don't always have to treat people how they deserve to be treated. Just ask God. Once again, you don't always have to treat people how they deserve to be treated. I think that was a personal message, but I'm taking it and moving forward.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take that too, yo. That was a good message.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. Take the high road. When they go low, we go high.
Thank you, First Lady. Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna be at the Punchline in Philly. I did not say that.
You said Philly, yes.
Yeah, the Punchline Comedy Club.
So do you have a date on that?
The 28th, 29th, and 30th. I mean, the 28th, the 29th, 30th, and 31st of July.
Okay.
The end of July.
All right. Mm-hmm. And you're going to get home to see your mama sometime soon, too.
She'll probably come to Philly.
Yay.
Yeah, she'll probably come to Philly. Well, I'm going to come up there with y'all and hang out for a little while.
Okay. So Anthony says that, Anthony Purnell Sr. said, my wife and I would like to be there to see Dom in Philly. Where will she be at? Behind that preposition. And she said the 28th, the 29th, I'm sorry, the 29th, 30th, and 31st of July at the
at the Philadelphia Punchline.
Okay. And can they meet you?
Yes, Anthony. Yes. Just let me know that it's Anthony Purnell. Yes.
Okay. And that you saw his request here. Okay.
I saw it here. Yes.
My darling Dominique, I thank you so much for coming on, joining us today, and for all your pearls of wisdom that you shared with us. And
thank you for having me all the time. Sid.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
And follow my social media, Dominique Comedy with an I.
Check her out. She's funny on social media as well as on streaming. Thanks, Dom. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Sib. I appreciate you. Love you, Sib.
Love you back. Bye, everybody.
Okay.
See you tomorrow with one J. Anthony Brown. Have a good one.